This farm cost $50,000 to build. 1 acre, 40 outdoor beds, a high tunnel, 25 hens, a young orchard, water storage, a compact wash and pack area, and just enough infrastructure to turn an ordinary parcel into a working food system. At the end of the last episode, we made a promise. Let's find out who's buying. This is that episode. Because who buys the harvest is what turns a harvest into a number. But there is one number we still do not know. Not revenue. Not the value of everything the farm can theoretically grow. How much can this acre actually put in the owner's pocket? And how many hours does the owner have to give it in return? We ran the same farm through 5 economic tests. The land never changes. The decisions do. First, the rules. The physical system is locked to the acre from episode 2. 40 beds, each 50 feet long, 1 960 square foot tunnel, 25 laying hens, and a young orchard that earns nothing in year 1. $45,000 has already been spent on the build. The remaining $5,000 stays untouched as a reserve. We do not spend it to make the annual result look better. The metric is owner cash income. Gross sales minus operating cash paid during the year. Then we divide that result by every owner hour recorded. It is not accounting profit. It does not subtract depreciation, replacement capital, debt, land, owner income tax, or a wage charged for the owner's own labor. Those boundaries stay on screen because hiding them would turn a useful estimate into a false promise. Test 0 is the reference. The outdoor mix uses 6 tomato beds, 7 pepper, 5 cucumber, 5 salad mix, 6 green bean, 5 cantaloupe, and 6 watermelon beds. That exact 40-bed allocation reproduces the $10,390 outdoor estimate carried forward from episode 2. For the tunnel, a 2025 University of Vermont study across 47 farms reported an average marketable tomato yield of 1.78 pounds per square foot and an average retail price of $4.56 per pound. Applied to this 960 square foot tunnel, that is about $7,792 in potential sales. The University of Maryland's 25-hen example produces 400 dozen eggs per year. At the episode 2 price of $3.50 per dozen, the hens add $1,400. The young orchard adds $0. Gross sales reach $19,582. Then the farm has to operate. Crop inputs and containers, tunnel inputs, feed and flock costs, water and energy, insurance, repairs, vehicle use, administration, sanitation, selling costs. Together, those cash costs remove $6,695. That leaves $12,887 in owner cash income. The work totals 1,071 owner hours. Divide one by the other, and the reference acre pays $12.03 for each owner hour recorded. That is the first honest answer. It is also only the starting point. Before optimizing anything, we had to repair the model. The first version used 1 channel multiplier across every crop. That is convenient and wrong. In the NC state budgets, moving tomatoes from the reference blend to full retail raises their price by about 25%. Salad mix rises by about 48%. Melons do not rise at all, because the source budget uses the same retail and wholesale price. One multiplier cannot describe 3 different markets. The new model prices every crop inside every channel. There was a second trap: labor. The crop budgets already include harvest and post-harvest work. Cornell's marketing benchmarks also include harvest, processing and packing, plus transport, sales, and bookkeeping. Adding both totals would count the same harvest twice, so the overlap is counted once. The model keeps the crop enterprise hours, then adds only the channel-specific remainder. 35% of the Cornell marketing estimate for transport, selling, and bookkeeping. Prices are separated. Hours are separated. Demand limits are visible. Now the scenarios can tell us something real. Scenario 1 changes crops, but keeps the reference channel blend. Every crop remains in the system. No crop gets fewer than 3 beds or more than 10. Within those limits, the spreadsheet pushes tomato and salad mix to 10 beds each, pepper to 8, and leaves 3 beds for each of the other 4 crops. The result looks strong. Gross sales rise to $22,498. Owner cash income rises to $15,311. But the work rises too. Tomatoes and salad are not just high-value crops. They are high-touch crops. Total owner time reaches 1,218 hours. The owner now earns $12.57 per hour, only 54 cents more than the reference. That is an important distinction. The crop-optimized plan produces $2,400 more owner cash, but it also concentrates production in 2 perishable, labor-heavy crops. If the owner already has demand for those crops, the extra cash can be worthwhile. If that demand is only a spreadsheet assumption, the farm has traded diversity for exposure. More revenue does not automatically mean a better job. Scenario 2 does the opposite. It keeps the reference crop mix and changes only how the food is sold. 45% of crop value is aimed at a small CSA. 30% goes to pre-order pickup. 15% goes to one restaurant account. 10% goes to a limited number of farmers' market dates. Each channel has a sale rate, a cash cost, a labor benchmark, and an annual capacity. The CSA is capped at $18,600 shares. Pre-orders are capped at 6 households spending $30 a week for 30 weeks. The restaurant is one account averaging $150 a week. The farmer's market is 8 dates averaging $300. Those are assumptions, not universal truths. Their purpose is to make demand finite. Pre-order potential reaches $5,879, but capacity stops at $5,400. The model refuses to count the excess as sold. Total gross sales land at $19,157. Owner cash income stays near the reference at $12,887, but owner time falls to 1,033 hours. Pay rises to $12.48 per hour. The channel win is not magical price inflation. It is lower friction, fewer stall hours, fewer market setups, and more sales committed before harvest day. Then we removed the practical constraints and asked the spreadsheet for the maximum. It chose 40 salad mix beds. It sold 85% of the harvest at full retail. Even the fantasy keeps some spoilage. It assumed unlimited farmers' market demand. The numbers jump. $29,783 in gross sales, $21,172 in owner cash income, $16.47 per owner hour. Bad idea. Here's why. The spreadsheet has removed the customer limit. It has removed crop diversity. It has removed the protection that comes from different harvest windows and different shelf lives. Salad is valuable because it is fresh. That is also why unsold salad becomes worthless quickly. A beautiful yield is not a sale. A full market table is not a waiting list. And a high theoretical margin does not create 40 beds of customers. Scenario 3 is useful because it exposes the temptation. It is a mathematical ceiling, not a sellable system. Scenario 4 keeps the useful lessons and restores the constraints. No outdoor crop gets more than 8 beds. The farm plants 8 tomato beds, 8 pepper, 4 cucumber, 8 salad mix, 4 green bean, 4 cantaloupe, and 4 watermelon. The tunnel, hens, and young orchard stay exactly the same. Sales are split across 4 demand pools: 45% CSA, 30% pre-order pickup, 15% restaurant, and 10% farmers market. The capacity limits stay on. That matters. The production plan creates about $1,221 of potential crop value that the current channel plan cannot absorb. The model does not call it revenue. It calls it unsold potential. The sellable system generates $20,590 in gross sales. Operating cash costs total $6,494. Owner cash income is $14,995. The owner records 1,104 hours, including crop and tunnel work, flock care, shared planning and maintenance, CSA administration, transport, selling, and bookkeeping. That produces an owner pay rate of $12.77 per hour. Compared with the reference, the system adds about $1,200 of owner cash and improves the hourly return without betting the acre on one crop or one customer. This is the result we can publish because the inconvenient parts are still visible. Finite demand, unsold potential, annual cash costs, and owner time. It is not the highest number in the workbook. It is the strongest number the story can defend. A single-point answer would still be dishonest. If both yield and selling price reach only 90% of the base assumptions, owner cash income falls to about $11,600. The hourly result falls with it. If both reach 110%, owner cash income rises to about $15,661. Then the upside starts to flatten. Why? Because pre-order and farmers' market capacity are already close to full. Once a channel is full, another pound is not automatically another dollar. That changes the management priority. Below the capacity limit, better production can improve income. At the limit, the next investment is not necessarily another bed, another tunnel crop, or another harvest. It may be another committed customer, a higher pre-order cap, or a second low-friction account. Demand before yield. Commitments before abundance. So, how much can a $50,000 one-acre farm really make? In this source-led, owner-operated year-one model, about $20,600 in gross sales, about $14,100 in owner cash income, and about $12.77 for each owner hour recorded. That is meaningful cash from 1 acre. It is not yet a full salary. It is not depreciation-adjusted profit. It is not guaranteed, and the work will arrive in seasonal peaks, not smooth weekly blocks. The strongest lever was not maximum yield. It was sellable production, matched to demand with less selling friction. The acre works best when the customer plan is designed as carefully as the crop plan. But this is one modeled year, and the model has been kind. The pump has not failed. The tunnel plastic has not torn. The best customer has not moved away, and the $45,000 has not been paid back. Next, can this farm survive 5 years? If you want to see that test, subscribe. Let's build it step by step.